My name is Srinivas Govada. I am working as an assistant professor in IARE college. In this topic, we will discuss about DBMS data backup. Okay, let us get started. Okay, we'll see what happens when you lose data. Okay, loss of volatile storage. A volatile storage like RAM stores all the active logs, disk buffers, and related data. Okay. In addition, it stores all the transactions that are being currently executed. What happens if such an volatile storage crashes abruptly? It could obviously take away all the logs and active copies of the database. Suppose your volatile storage crashes, you lose all the logs, all the active logs on the database copy. It makes recovery almost impossible, as everything that is required to recover the data is lost. Now, how can we avoid the data loss? Okay. Now we have few technologies. Okay, few techniques. The following techniques may be adopted in case of loss of volatile storage. We can have checkpoints at multiple stages so as to save the content of the database periodically. So we can have checkpoints at multiple phases so that whenever we have some problem, we can go back to the latest checkpoint. From there, we can retrieve back. Okay, a state of an active database in the volatile memory can be periodically dumped onto a stable storage, which may contain logs and active transactions and buffer logs. So the volatile, currently as it is in the volatile memory, periodically you can dump onto the stable storage, which also contain logs and active transactions and buffer logs. A dump can be marked on the log file, saying that you have dumped into a stable form, from non-volatile to a stable one. You can write log. In the log, you'll write as dumped. Now recovery. So when the system recovers from failure, it can restore from the latest dump. It can maintain a redo list and undo list as checkpoints. It can do a redo list and undo list as checkpoints. It can recover the system by consulting the undo redo list to restore the state of all the transactions up to the last checkpoint. So when there is a failure, you can restore from the latest dump. Then it maintains a redo list and undo list. Okay. So by referring to the undo redo list, it restores back to the old checkpoint. Now, database backup and recovery from a catastrophic failure. Okay. Now we will see what is it. A catastrophic failure is one where stable secondary storage device gets corrupted. Now earlier we all had in the volatile. Now you migrated that to a stable storage. Now what happened when it is corrupted? Okay, with the storage device, all the valuable data that is stored inside is lost. Okay, whatever you have saved in the secondary, which is stable, got corrupted. So you have lost the entire data. Okay, we have two different strategies. To recover data from such catastrophic failure. Remote backup, remote backup. Here, a backup copy of the database is restored from the remote location from where it has been restored in case of catastrophic. So, suppose you have a backup at a remote location, immediately you can switch on to the data from the remote thing. Alternatively, data backups can be taken on a magnetic tapes and stored in a safer place. Alternative, the database backups can be taken on magnetic tapes and stored at a stored place. This backup can later be transferred onto a freshly installed database and to bring it in the to bring it to the point of backup. Database can be taken on magnetic tapes and stored location. This backup can be transferred onto a freshly installed database to bring it to the point of backup. Grown-up databases are too bulky to be frequently backed up. See, when you have huge databases, it is very difficult and time-consuming to take backups. In such cases, we have techniques where we can restore the database just by looking at its logs. So, all that we need to do here is that take a backup of all the logs at a frequent intervals of time. This database can be backed up once in a week, and the logs being very small can be backed up every day or as frequency as possible. Suppose you have very huge data like terabytes. Taking backup every day terabytes is waste of time, waste of resources. So what we will do is that every week at some point, a Sunday, or when there is no business or business is less, at that point we take the full backup. Okay, every Sunday we take a full backup. Then every day, like every day evening or the night, like Monday, Tuesday up to Saturday, we'll take daily incremental backups by seeing the logs. So even if the database is corrupted, as we have that Sunday backup, which is full backup, and we also have the daily backups, we can restore on a fresh machine the old last Sunday backup. On that, we can apply this incremental backups so that your data is up to date. Okay. Remote backup. Remote backup provides a sense of security in case of primary location where the data is located gets destroyed. Okay, this is your local. Suppose if it is destroyed, the remote backup can be offline, real time, or online. In case it is offline, it is maintained manually. This is your local server on the through the network. You are trying to you will back up your data at the remote place. This remote can be real time, offline, or online. In case of offline, you will have to update. You will have to take backups and put here manually. Online backup systems are more real time. Online backups are more real time and lifesavers for database administrator and investors. An online backup system is a mechanism where every bit of the real-time data is backed up simultaneously at two distinct places. See, online backup system is a mechanism where every bit of your real-time data is backed up simultaneously at two different places. One of them is directly connected to the system. The other is kept as a remote place as a backup. Suppose you have server here. There will be one more server at remote place. These two will be synced. So as soon as your primary database storage fails, means your local server fails, the backup system senses the failure. The backup system senses the failure and switches the user system to remote storage. Sometimes this is so instant that the user cannot realize a failure. Okay. Suppose it says that if your your primary data server at your location has failed, immediately your system will alert the remote location. Immediately that will be your application server will talk to the remote server. So user will not even know that there is something wrong happened. This completes the database backups.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.